Hey everyone, welcome back to Lad from the Woods here. I'm in the bus. We've had a big power outage here tonight. Right across the laneway here, a big spruce tree took out the wires. It exploded. It was quite the scene. So anyways, we're out of power. Of course, in the bus we're not. I just came out to check because I knew I had this thing running here. My electric heater, and I can see the batteries are draining. I never did get the diesel heater working properly today, so we think it's a fuel issue. Anyways, there, that finally turned that off. So power should be coming back on shortly. The guys are here working on it. They're still out there working on the pole, I guess. Anyways, I just thought I'd come out here for a minute. I wanted to check because I noticed the batteries were being drained and I forgot the radiator heater is on, but that's okay. That's fine that it's on. It's not going to kill these batteries. So anyway, it would have been nice to be able to stay in here, with this power outage and everything, but the diesel heater's just not working. So anyways, I just wanted to check on things, so I thought I'd do a quick short here while we're waiting. It's nice and toasty in the trailer, and I really love the idea that this thing can be totally off grid. If that diesel heater was on and they didn't have that wood stove running in there right now, I'd be right out here. The other thing I need to get hooked on this bus is the Starlink, so I'll have to get another Starlink. I really hate to cover that up, but I think I can do something where the TV can be here, maybe mount it here, and then it can. Anyways, True will figure it out for me, because I really hate to cover up Wayne's all these different things he's put up there, because I really like them. So anyways, we'll figure out something. The other thing I could probably do is maybe put the TV here, be a smaller one, but hey, I'm not in the bus to watch TV all my life either, eh? So, anywho, yeah, I just wanted to do a couple shorts doing this because, for the power to come back on. So, are they still out? Oh, did they leave now? We still haven't got power? Is there power on in the trailer? No. All right, anyway, somebody just sent me a message. Anyway, let's go back to the, let's go back to the, how do I get the light turned on with this thing now? I forget. Because when I turn this off, it's going to go dark, but I need the light on the... Oh, wait a minute. Stupid headlamp. Duh. Oh, yeah, I'm brain dead. It's maybe because I didn't smoke enough weed tonight. The temperature's just flying right now, and that's what's got the wind all started. No, they're still over there. They're over on my pole now. I have a feeling what they're doing. They might have disconnected me. They were fixing the other thing, so when they turn the power back on, they don't blow the transformer. It's the only thing I can think. Oops. I want that one closed. I need this one open. The wood stove running. I need to be able to adjust the window. Is that thing finally flaming up in there? Yep. We'll knock that down just a tad on that. Oop, a little too far. There, and then we'll shut that plute damper down. So now if I do this, you guys, yeah, figures, I guess. Anyway, look at this cat, eh? Do I need to have that on now? Let's see. Nope. Look at him. Hey, Blackie. You don't care, eh? We've got heat, eh, buddy? We don't care. We've got heat. As long as I got heat, I don't care if we have power or not. But everybody, that's my awning. Jesus, did that just break? Because it's sitting really low all of a sudden. No, it's fine. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Because it looks like it's sitting lower. Well, if it gets torn off, I'll just have to get True to Mount it back up again. It's all like, oh, that's going to be too dark for you guys, isn't it? Now, unless I put the light straight up out of your eyes. How does that work? Oh, that doesn't work bad, eh? Look at that. Hey, that works. Cool. What do you think of that, Wally? He's like, I don't fucking know. I'm a cat, man. What are you bothering me with this shit for? Well, Wally, because, you know. Anyway, I got a tripod here. I'm debating whether I should make another coffee on the propane. Oh, sorry. On the propane stove, or wait for the Keurig, because I got a feeling these guys are going to be done pretty soon here. Oh, there we go. And I need to turn it this way. There we go. I'm trying to keep it for shorts because I haven't done any new shorts recently. I just realized, eh? So, anyway, raise that up. Anyhow, there we go. Hello, shorts. Yeah. Yeah, they said the power would be back by 9, but like I was saying on the full length videos, was that they texted, like Hydro One will tell you, okay, I called the power outage in, right? So then they like text back to you, well, yeah, power will be back by 9. But they said this without the guys even being here to see what the damage was yet. I'm like, Toronto pencil pusher, eh? They should have waited for the Hydro One guys to show up here, look at the situation, say, okay, that'll take us 3 hours. But no, these guys just assume. Well, they had no way of knowing until the guys got here and laid eyes on the problem. Anyways, this is what you get when you got people that are sitting in offices that don't have a fucking clue about anything outside of their bubble. And I mean, these people truly live in a fucked up bubble of some kind. Because, I mean, it's just, there's just no connection with reality at all. So, none. So, of course, these guys on the ground, the Hydro One guys, they're reality. I mean, they know what they're doing. These aren't amateurs by any stretch. So, taking a chance. I don't want to run the pressure tank down too much. But I want to have another coffee, and I don't know how long these guys are going to be. I just know as soon as I make this coffee, you guys watch what'll happen. There'll be the power will come back. So I don't know why I'm doing this. I should probably just wait. Wednesday night, Lanark Islands, big windstorm because the temperature went down from for you Americans it was 12 Celsius, so for you Americans 12, 24, 34, so almost 55 Fahrenheit. And then it went down, it's going down to minus like 15 Celsius, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's cold, and that's a huge jump, and it did it just in a couple hours. Like, it's still going down as we speak right now. But I mean, the jump is just incredible. Fastest I've seen it, I maybe the fastest I've ever seen it do that. Scary. I mean, I haven't seen weather like this, and we're talking February 28th, and it's like spring weather here. Like, this is March weather we're getting right now. And it's not changing the next couple of weeks. That's the part that really freaks me out. Is I thought, well, it's going to get back cold again, but no, it's not. It's not happening, man. The El Nino is changing back to the other one now. So that's part of the thing that they were saying. That's what's going on. So anyway, okay, you guys can still see me over there. Yeah, they're still over at my pole. They're over here now too. Oh God, there must have been more damage further this way. Anyway, they're going to be power back anytime. I mean, these guys are like right on top of it, eh? Hydro One guys, man. Like, Hydro One might be fucked, but the guys that are on the road, like these guys, construction guys, like I've said before on my long-term videos, these guys are badass. I mean, they are. I mean, they work out in weather and in conditions that'll just, I mean, you city people don't have any fucking clue. I mean, we're out in the middle, butt fuck nowhere. Trees are flopping on the roads. The wind is going, everything's turning icy again. And these guys are out in it. And I mean, I've seen these guys work after a derecho, after a tornado. I mean, it's just, they're just fucking wild, these guys. Anyway, and they're us. That's why I keep telling my neighbors, like, don't, you know, the people that move out here, like, shit on these guys. Don't shit on these guys. These are your fucking neighbors. These people that work in these trucks, they are us. These are my neighbors. These are people you grew up with. You know, so it's like, don't be shitting on there. It's their idiot bosses in Toronto. You know, or some pencil pusher with a fucking power trip or something. I don't know. But I mean, these guys don't deserve shit from anything. Because these are the good guys. And their construction crews too, because I've worked with their construction crews, and they're some of the best construction crews I have ever worked with in any business. So that tells you something. And fun guys to work with. Like, fuck, we're out one night, it's like minus 30, or we weren't even supposed to be pouring, but the temperature, we started pouring like these great big hydro towers up near Pakenham. I'm driving for Lafarge at the time. We're bringing out this special liquid concrete for the footings and stuff. And these guys are out there and they're happy and they're whistling. We're out in the middle. It's dark now because it's, you know, winter, so everything gets dark like at 4:30. We're out there at 9 o'clock tonight. The wind is literally going sideways. It is bitterly cold. We're in this great big huge hole, and I mean, it's wide open farm fields because, you know, these big hydro things, and it's like, these guys are smiling and whistling and ding and dang and joking with me, and I'm in the truck all nice and warm, right? Like, you know, they said, you don't even have to get out of the truck. We'll run the chutes. You back the truck where we tell you, and we'll get the concrete where we want it to go. So I didn't even have to get out of the truck. I mean, that's how good these guys were. And it's like, you know, when you're a concrete mixer driver, when a guy tells you, I'll run the chutes at the back, and you know these guys know how to do it, like the Hydro One guys, you just sit back in the truck and go, this is fucking beautiful. But, you know, a lot of times you work with guys and they got bad attitudes, like especially like 9 o'clock at night. Not the Hydro One guys. Not even close. I've never seen such happy guys working. So, and in conditions that are just totally fucked. Most of you idiots wouldn't even fucking, you know, be outside, let alone work in it like these guys. So, but yeah, it's power's coming back soon. That's a surety. So, because they're finished right across here, and that was the worst of it. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 wires just snapped, and when it blew up, when the tree hit it, it blew up. This great big kaboom, flashing light, and then the wires themselves turned red, and it started sparking. And the first thing I thought, phasers from the Enterprise, you know, like fire phasers, you know, Captain Picard. I mean, it looked just like phasers coming out of the Enterprise. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. So I didn't even want to step outside. I just opened the sliding door and I'm looking out going, oh, this is fucked. I'm not going outside. Ping. So, and then I thought, well, I'm not going to go out there and check on anything. I'll call it in, which I did. And, you know, if I'm going to go out, I'll wait till they're here, because in case there's a live wire on the ground or something, eh? You know, it's the last thing I need is to get zapped like that. Anyways, that wasn't the case. And the guy was there, and he said, yeah, we'll have her done in a couple hours. And I said, oh, I figured as much, you know. Then I find out there's like 500 people without power in the area. And I know the entire area where there's power. I know like 1 million people that live in this area. So anybody ever asks in the future about this one, say, yeah, it happened right in front of my place. Like right in front, on my neighbor's property across the street. So he's not there. He has an off-grid trailer there, but he only goes there in the summer. He grows a little bit of weed back there, and but he lives in the village. I haven't seen him in ages, so I don't even know if he's been out recently. But he's a really good guy. I think his name is Chris, if I remember correctly. But he's a good guy anyway. It doesn't matter what his name is. But that just made me think of that old rock thing. Oh, sorry, guys. The old thing from the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is. The rock says know your role. Anyway. Yeah, I used to be a big wrestling fan. I still am. I just don't like today's wrestling. It sucks compared to like mid-1990s till the year 2000. Well, what they call the Attitude Era. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, all that shit, right? Like fucking, and some of the stuff, the skits were hilarious. The wrestling was out of this world. the guys with their talking like Stone Cold and The Rock. I mean, The Rock, before he turned all snotty, I mean, he was fucking hilarious. And one of the most exciting guys to watch in the ring, you know. Anyways, the Attitude Era is what they used to call it, so. Well, as soon as I put the sugar, or the sugar twin in the coffee, I get the evaporated milk, and the power is going to come on and be like, I could have put it in the Keurig! Anyway, I don't care. I'm having it now. They might be a while yet. I mean, it's still really windy out too, and there's a lot of power outages, so I'm surprised. The reason they're here so quickly is because there's like 500 people without power. Like this little thing that went out here, that was, this is a major thing. This is like one of the biggest power outages. Like in this area, there might be, well, there's only is like 500 fucking houses, and I mean, it's a fairly large area. Anybody that's, you know, from up here knows, I mean, all the way up to French Line, up to you know, Joe's Lake, Lammermoor, Highway 511. Like if you guys are from, you know, around Lanark area, anybody that watches this, parts of Hopetown, Poland, going west of here, probably right into South Levant. I didn't check that far on the map, but I mean, if it's gone, if the power's gone in Flower Station, then South Levant probably got no power either. So it's a big swath. But it says 500 people without power, and it's all because of my little thing right here. So, and they're still down, well, they're not on my pole anymore. Whatever they were doing there, now they're further down the road, so it must have taken out some other wires I'm not aware of here. Because they're definitely, oh, maybe they are up in my, hang on a minute. Are they, oh yeah, they're up on my pole. That's what they did. They fixed the what, they went up there originally. They must have disconnected my transformer. They went and did the work they did out here, and now they're going back to hook it up. So in a minute or two, it's probably going to go flick. But that's what they're doing. I was wondering why they were on my pole, because nothing happened on my pole. Well, their pole, but it's my feeder pole over here. So, but I think that's what they did to say, you know, it's obviously if they're going to turn the power back on, they don't want it to blow unless it blew. It might have blown the thing on my pole too. I fucked up, I know, who knows? Maybe that's why they're out there. But they just finished working a good hour on the wires out front, and I don't want to go out there and check. You know, it's just not safe for me to be out there. Well, I'm overreacting probably a little bit, but the boys are out there. Better I just stay here and stay the fuck out of the way. Not a thing I can contribute for them. So, you know, maybe if I hadn't been so stupid and my generator's working, I could make them a bunch of coffees. But, oh, here comes another one. There's another truck now. Suddenly showed up. What's that all about now? That's 3 of them. Holy fuck, this is turning into a major fucking trip here. Yep, there he is. But he's heading straight for them down where they are by my pole. Yeah, that's another giant truck too. Holy fuck, man! They're pulling out all the, you know, like all the whatever. Holy fuck, Hydro! And they've got a lot of power outages. They're all small ones out here. Like here is the big one, but I mean, there's a shit ton of them. There's like up at Norcan Lake, if anybody knows this area, Calabogue's got no power. All the cottages on the southwest shore of Norcan Lake, that whole laneway, there's only like one road going in there. I've delivered firewood there. They're all without power, but there's only like 37 cottages there on Norcan, on that side anyway. And Black Donald all in there. Now there's probably not a whole lot of people up there. It's mostly 99% cottages, so they're mostly those cottages, they don't come until the summer, those people, but there'll be the odd guy out there, and then the off-gridders. Now my friend True, the guy that works, he worked for me here, and now he's working for us at Baker, and he just started his own channel. It's called, I'm helping him with it there. It's no videos are up there or anything like that, no material yet. We just named it. It's called, it's called Rogue Life TV, He has a Facebook page with the same name. I think he has a few things up there, but he's never done a YouTube channel, and I talked him into it, saying, like, you know, you're doing bushcraft, you're doing off-grid stuff. He lives not far from here, but they're all off-grid where he is, him and Dougie and those guys. So for them, this power outage means absolutely nothing to them. And technically, for me too, I have the bus. If the bus had the satellite dish on it, like I'm supposed to have on it, if the diesel heater was working, which there's something wrong, I haven't figured it out yet, but we will get it figured out. I mean, I could be in the bus and have power and heat and everything. So, but I've got heat here, I've got light, I'm recording for you guys. I mean, believe me, I'm not complaining. Oh, keep pulling right in my yard. Guys, you know, I do have a pickup truck out there. Just please don't hit that fucking thing. Unless, if you're going to hit it, write it off. Smash it to bits. And then the insurance will pay it off, and then I'll go get a used one. I don't want a new truck ever again. Well, no, that's a lie. If I have my name on the list for the new Ram Revolution electric truck. That is the very last truck that I will ever buy if I decide to buy the electric one. And I'm very impressed with the Ram Revolution. I don't want to buy the first season. I've said it before. It was supposed to come out this year. So I put myself down for the 2025 model year because I thought, well, I'll have this other one another year. I can trade it in, get the electric one, and that's it. But I wanted to wait for another year after they've been on the road for a year so that Chrysler can work out, the Ram can work out all the bugs. Now, the one good thing about Ram is they are so fucking picky about their trucks that even the first year model, even there'll be bugs, but I can guarantee you there won't be many because Ram will have worked out every little fucking minuscule detail. I mean, you know, Ram's the #1 truck on the planet here, so at least that's what my insurance company keeps telling me. It's the most stolen truck in North America. And I believe it. What's funny is that everybody out here drives Rams, like Dodge, Chrysler, whatever. You know, you got some guys that drive Fords. Sorry, guys. Too bad for you, but I got to be careful now. The bus is a Ford. That's the very first Ford I've ever owned. And it's the very first Ford I've ever driven. Never owned one. I now own a Ford, driven a Ford, but the very first Ford I ever drove was an L8000 dump truck and an L9000 dump truck way back in the 80s. And but that's the only Fords I've ever driven. Never driven a Ford. Not a Ford guy at all. I had a Chevy Silverado, a 2000 and what year was that? 2004, and I had that in 2000. Oh, when was that? We were at the campground, so I'm going to say around 2014, 2015, around that time. So it wasn't that old of a truck. I mean, 11 years old, but that Chevy Silverado seemed like it was a whole lot older than, and it did all kinds of, it was a super loaded thing, leather seats, Bose sound system in it. It talked to me. The seats would move on their own. Every time I got in, it seemed to know what setting I needed. The mirrors would change color when I'm backing up. It was, I hated that fucking truck like with a passion. And when that kid hit me, poor kid from Newfoundland, he's like here 3 weeks, he just started school. He's working for the Lanark mental thing, and I said, geez, I'm a patient. You might be one of my doctors. Poor kid was in tears. He was so scared and upset. He never had an accident before, right? And he's from Newfoundland. He's from small town Newfoundland. So, I mean, at least he was out here in Lanark County, so it was kind of like where he lives, you know, more small town. But, oh, the poor kid was so upset. And I told him, I said, you just made my day. And he's looking at me like, what in the fuck was with you, old man? You know, and I'm like, I said, I hate this fucking truck. I absolutely despise it. I'm glad that you fucking hit it. They're going to probably write it off. The cab corners were rusted on it. I said, I hate fucking Chevs. Anyways, he just looked at me like I was not. They did write off the truck, and that's when I went and got the white Dodge, the one I sold, and then Mike Wan showed up here with it 10 years later. My old truck that I sold because it was tired and dead. This guy, I hire him up to do work here, and he drives in with my truck, my old truck, and I'm like, that's my old truck, and he thought I was crazy. I said, here, I still got the pictures of the fucking thing. There it is. I owned it. I sold it to a guy that was going to use it on his farm, never drive it on the road again, and turn it into a plow truck. And I said, that's a great idea. I said, the old 318s, she's tired. So, I mean, you know, and the tranny, I mean, you know, everything's tired. She was 1990, was a 96 or a 94 Ram 1500, two-door, 8-foot box on it, old school, fucking on the floor, four-wheel drive. Like, god damn, I miss that, because that's the way trucks ought to be. Anyways, so then I got the Outdoorsman, and the Outdoorsman then, and I loved that truck. And it was a little more modern, but I said, you know what, it's not bad. And I really liked that Ram Outdoorsman, and that was a 2014. And then the deer jumped through it a year and a half ago, and then I ended up with this new digital computer Star Trek thing. And I keep getting upset at this truck, but I'm realizing, you know what, you got to stop that shit, because if I do go for that Ram Revolution electric one, if I think that this 2022 Ram is modern with all its digital and computers and all that, imagine what that electric truck's going to be like. Thing is, I'm not sure how I'm going to work that, because I have the bus, and I know for sure that once my mom can't be here anymore, I'm going to sell everything here. There's no point in me keeping it, but I'm going to go live in the bus. I don't know what I would do with the Ram, so I mean, this is kind of like, because I'm not going to have any place. I'm not going to buy another place. I'm not going to rent another place. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to be floating around, so I'm not sure what I'll do with the pickup truck. Now, I mean, I do have a place once I'm too old to drive that I'm going to go to, my friends out in Vancouver. So I might get somebody to follow me with the Ram Electric and the bus, and I'll drive that out. And the Ram Electric, I'll leave it there, and then when I go on tour with the bus, and then when I'm back there, I'll just use the Ram Electric on the Vancouver Island. So we'll see. Well, they're down off my pole now because there's no light at my pole. Yeah, they're off of it, so flick the switch, guys. Watch if I say that, eh? It'll be like, click, power comes on. Flick the switch. Was it AC/DC? Flick the switch? Flick the switch. I think that was the album after Back in Black, isn't it? Flick the switch, flick. Oh, chainsaw. That's the big spruce that came down. Can you hear that? I have a friend, by the sound of those two-stroke motors on the chainsaws, he can tell which chainsaw make it is. We haven't seen each other in years now, but my friend Eric that used to work here, we used to do stuff together, and he was like the logger, working in the bush guy, and loved to work by himself, which is not cool nowadays, working by yourself, but he just one of those guys, like, you know, if you hired him to work on your property, like, you don't even just let him go, you know. And then we did some business together selling firewood and stuff like that, and I stayed the fuck away from him because he don't want to work with nobody. When he would come up, sit down, have a coffee, smoke a joint, no problem there, nothing like that. He wasn't antisocial. He was just antisocial when he was out in the bush with his chainsaw. He was in his own little world there. But fuck, could this guy take down trees and fuck up logs and everything. I mean, like, you know, just amazing how hard he could work. Anyways, but he could tell if you started a chainsaw, he could tell you what motor was, like, which one is it, a Steel or is it a Husky or whatever. Eric McNeely, who cares? A lot of McNeely's in these parts, but yeah, he's quite the ear and quite the logger. I don't think he's doing that anymore. I mean, it's been a few years now, and he was getting long in tooth back when we were still doing it, so his back was already fucked, and he was using a horse, Louis, the horse, I think was the name of his horse, Louis, and that's what he would, you know, the horse to pull the logs out, just like, you know, my dad and Charlie Schnorr used to do here way back. So didn't have skidders and stuff like that. It was horses with sleighs in the wintertime, so bring the logs out. Eric was an expert at it, and he had his own horse, and he didn't own any place either. He was living from place to place, but every time he went to go rent a place, he had to find a place to put the horse. So that became quite the chore for him. So, but this, like I say, now I'm going back like years here. So there'll be a lot of parts here. That's 29 minutes. That's like 30 shorts already. Wood stove is just cooking right along there, slow speed. One thing I can tell you folks out there in internet land, shorts land, This wood stove has just turned out to be a real... Oh, look who's behind me they're looking at. Hey, what do you think, Goldie? We get our power back soon? They don't care. Look at them Blackie's over here, and he's like... Here, can you see this? Look at Blackie. Yeah, it just knocks right out, eh? The heat wood stove's right there. Goldie's right there, and then way back on the washing machine back there. Can you see? Can you see him? Where have I got that? Anyway, Wally's on top of the washing machine because when I'm running the fan, which I'm not right now for obvious reasons, there's no power, but I have the fan blowing on the wood stove and it blows the hot air into the kitchen right in front of the washing machine, which is where Wally is sitting. So he's out in La La Land sound asleep. But boy, as soon as I turn that wood stove on, the cats are like, wow. Wow, I'm a happy kitty cat. Hey, what do you think, babies? Hey, you're on camera with me wearing shorts, eh? Hey, Goldie? I'm like a girl, eh? Yeah. He's a goodie. Yes. She's watching the blinking lights outside. Oh, now she's looking at my light. She's been watching the lights outside. They know there's something up. Ain't that so, Goldie? You know what's going on, eh? I checked the mouse traps in the bus because I definitely got a mouse or something's in there. Because I got some little pieces of cloth chewed underneath my pillow on the bed. I'm like, you little fuckers, you're not going to tear up that. And that's a Tempur-Pedic bed in there, like expensive. So Wayne, when he sold me the bus, he'd left a whole bunch of things in there and 2 mouse traps. And I knew right then that okay, they can get in because obviously he wouldn't have them there if they couldn't get in. So anyway, he used peanut butter, so I cleaned it out, put some fresh peanut butter in there, nice smelly Jif, really. Yeah. So anyway, sometime in the next couple hours or so, or overnight, one of them will come out, smell that peanut butter, and that'll be the end of that little furry bastard. Don't be chewing on my shit. I could probably just stick Goldie out there for a couple of days. There won't be any mice in it, but then poor Goldie be out there by herself. I would never do that to her. Would I do that to you, eh, Pumpkin? No. No. Who would sleep at my feet all night? Keep my feet warm. It used to be Wally's job. That's why they fight now, because Wally used to sleep at my feet all the time. She would, well, she still does sleep on my head. So I've got my Goldie the cat is at my head here on the pillow, on the futon in front of the TV. Wally's at my feet, and Blackie's, like if I'm facing the futon, Blackie's laid up next to me, almost like a girlfriend. I mean, his face is here, his whole body stretched. It's just the weirdest fucking thing. But as soon as I turn over, boom, he goes to his spot, and that's it. He's out like a light. So until I move, it depends. If I flip totally over, he'll get up and go. If I just kind of move around a bit, he doesn't move. He's just like... Can you hear that wind? It's that crazy temperature swing. And that's not helping these guys. I mean, you just heard him. He's cutting down a tree out there, so... This power's going to be back any minute because now the tree is... Obviously, the chainsaw hasn't run, so they've got the tree free of the wire. So now they probably have the power. Obviously, they have the power off. So now they're connecting, reconnecting, splicing, whatever it is they got to do. And oh, there. I see. Oh, there goes. They're going back up to my the big. Yeah, they're going back up to my pole again. They're isolated my pole for some reason. There's something. I mean, I'm not there, but it's just like I said. The explosion didn't happen there, but. I mean, they're doing something with my pole, making sure they're saving it. So unless the wire came down, was it right across the road? Because the wire does cross over there too, eh? No, they've been working right here at the transformer. I think that while they're working on that piece that exploded out front, they isolated mine so it doesn't fry the transformer too. Because that's all new. I mean, that was only put in. When did I put the power here? Well, that's not new. It's... I guess it'll be 9 years in October when I put the power here. And then the water was, what, 2 years, 3 years after that. And the wood stove only went in January 5th. And the trailer's been here 10. And that was one of the first things that Norm said when we moved the trailer from Cloyne to here. It's like, got to put a wood stove in this thing. And it would have been done had he not been murdered, but and it got put off, 100 different times for lots of different reasons. But we hadn't talked to each other for a couple months, and that's when then he got murdered, and that's when I found out about it. And I've been in shock ever since. But that's just been 4 years now, February 15th. I can't believe it just seems like yesterday I got the news he was murdered. So he was murdered by a friend that still is a friend. I never see him again, but he was autistic. And I'm not sure of the circumstances, but it was an accidental murder. The cops had to charge him with murder because that's what it was. It was like they're downstairs in Look's apartment, is the way I got the story. They're drinking, having their usual good time. Look's a really good kid, or was, and he's still a good kid. This was total accident. He collected Game of Thrones swords, but real ones. And I could see a situation where the two of them were probably playing around, drunk, and Norm's my age. Look is at least 20 years younger than both of us, and strong as an ox, but autistic. So, you didn't, he went with us all kinds of places, fishing and camping, so Look was never a problem. But he was not the kind of guy you'd want to wing his temper up, being he was autistic, because that didn't go well. He went from 0 to 60 like in a second. So, oh yeah, I can see wires hanging down from my pole now. I can see them. Wow. Yeah, that's it. See, there's the wire. So that took down my wire from across the street. Holy shit. Wow, I didn't even know that. So what broke here, it set off that explosion and everything. It somehow affected that wire coming across to my pole. Unless the broken wire here, rather than splice it or whatever, maybe they pulled the entire wire out and now are restringing a new wire from the transformer to my transformer. That could be it too. This is all guessing because I don't know, but I wouldn't have dreamt that there was a problem with the wire down there, so maybe that's what they're doing. I think that's probably what they're doing. They're just bringing in an entire new power line rather than splicing it or whatever. I can hear them shouting. But he's up there in the big thing, and he's up top there, so. Okay, he says. We're not ready to flip the power. That wire was just, I saw the wire hanging. That's, so he's probably saying, okay, that's enough wire or something. It's all guessing. I have no idea. I'm telling you guys stuff I don't even know if it's correct or not. Oh, is that a car coming? Pretty certain they've got everything closed off here. Certainly don't want anybody coming through here right now. That wire's up in the air that crosses over from my neighbor's property to here. Listen to that wind. They get all this fixed and it could break again right afterwards. It's bad. This is bad. This is not normal weather, man. I don't know what you want to call it or who caused it or what's causing it. The Earth is always climate change. That's just the nature of the planet Earth. And like George Carlin used to say, there's nothing wrong with the planet. The planet's going to keep going no matter what happens to it. It's us that's going to disappear, not the planet. Unless, of course, the sun goes supernova, but that's not supposed to happen for another 5 billion years or so. So we will either be long gone, or it'll be like Star Trek, we'll be running the galaxy. They've got 3 big trucks on there. They got quite the big, there's probably at least 2 guys per truck, minimum. So there's 2, 4, 6 guys right there. Or girls, I have no idea. There's girls working on the hydro crews here, right alongside the guys. Hydro doesn't discriminate. A girl wants to be out there working in this shit, they'll put her out there as long as she's capable. Believe me, there's lots of capable girls out there. Okay, I still got about a third of my coffee. It's getting to the point now where I'd be microwaving it if I had a microwave. But I don't. But as soon as I finish this, you watch, they're going to go click. This is kind of fun because I never get to see this when there's a power outage. Usually the power outage is up in Fallbrook where the big transformer is, and that knocks out like 9,000 people. And it happens all the time, and I'm like, why don't they just fix this thing for fucking good? But I don't know. I don't even know where it is. I've tried to find the transformer they keep working on up there, and I can't find it. So there's nothing obvious anyway. Maybe it's on somebody's private land or something, but anyways, this is a first for this one. I've never seen our wires go here. This is a first. Now, Mom, I talked to her. She doesn't recall any wires ever breaking right here either, but 82, I'm not going to go 100% with that. My dad, if he was alive, he'd remember, but he decided he'd had enough with the cancer in 99. Well, he didn't decide, the cancer did, but anyway. Yeah, they're still up there. They got bright lights up there on my big pole. God, I hope they wouldn't have to replace my wires. They wouldn't. Because my wire comes off of that. It doesn't go in the air. They had me bury it here. I was so happy when they told me that. I was like, yes. I don't have to cut my trees down. There's a perfect path right to where I want the power board. It was absolutely perfect. And the soil here is all granite here, hard rock. But I got lucky because when they redid the road, they put all the sand here, and it got to be 3 feet deep, and right where they were, it was deep enough to run that trench for that power. I was like, oh, that was lucky. And the same with my water. I was able to go down, it was just barely past 3 feet, but it's below the frost line here, unless we get like a whole month of minus 30, that's a different story. But my line is wrapped anyway, so it's not going to freeze. But, well, unless there's a long power outage, which I got my shit together on the wood stove now. So like I say, I don't get upset too much now because I've got heat. I'm not sitting here shivering or anything like that. Now, it isn't really cold yet. It's getting colder as we go along. So, but the pipes will be good for quite a piece right now before they start to freeze. And in the pump house, it's well insulated in there with rock wool insulation and everything. So of course it's heated. Now there's no heat, but it'll hold the heat in there for quite a time in there. So it's built like that, really good and solid. And we changed out the pink insulation for the good thick rock wool stuff. So that only leaves the hoses that are exposed here, that are wrapped. Well, they're not exposed. They're hose that comes out from the ground up into the trailer, but it's wrapped with foil and then the heat wire, because the foil then conducts the heat better to the hose. It's wrapped, and then I got the the foam thing on it. So, but like as soon as the power comes back on, those little heaters, the little wire heaters come back on, and they'll defrost it like right away. I've had times here where things definitely have gotten frozen. The worst is when my my pressure tank froze, the last one I had here, but I was able to rescue it. It wasn't, power came back, I was able to get the heat going again, and I was fine. But, that's the one, I'm going to say that'd be the one weakness in the system. So, and I was saying on the long form videos, if I had half a brain, because I have a brand new generator sitting out there, that it won't start. Probably the only reason it won't start is that I ran it out of gas and just forgot. I haven't even looked in the gas. It's in that little hut out there. It's hard to get to right now. I told True, I actually contacted True today. I said, there's no reason for me to be sitting without power here. I've got a good generator out there, and it'll run the whole trailer, no trouble at all. And the wood stove's heating it, so I'm not using the generator to heat, using the quartz heater or the oil pills. So the only thing it's going to run is the lights. My PC computer, my Starlink, my laptop. You'd be charging it, but my laptop right now is just running on batteries, but I'm not using the laptop, so it's not using it. So that's all it's running. Oh, and of course the water, the pump, but that only runs every so often to keep the tank full. So it's not as if it's pulling power every minute. So now the only downside to that is that if the power does go out, I can power the trailer, but I can't power the pump. But that's because I didn't put in something, and Charles said that he can come back and do that for me. We just haven't got that done yet. There's something he can do so I can still have water off, but running it off the generator, because it's on a 240 is how I remember that, because it's a 140 foot well. It couldn't be like a 110. It had to be like the big 240 or whatever it is. So, but Charles said there's a way for me to deal with that. So anyway, and I told him the generator I had, it's a 3500 watt from Canadian Tire. It's not the Champion yellow one, it's the green one, whatever it's called. But I always keep water in bottles here in the fridge. Right now the jugs in the bus are empty because it's been freezing, but I mean, I got 2 great big jugs of water that I need to fill in there, keep them full. Always got lots of water. My mother keeps 5-gallon jugs or whatever she's got over there. She changes out the water every so often, but she always keeps a bunch of water down in the basement, and the water stays cold down there. So there's, plus she's got the 40-gallon hot water tank, so there's 40 gallons of water stashed in there too. So I don't have a hot water tank. I'm on hot water demand here, so that's the only downside. But I mean, I'm not going to go through that much water during a power outage. And if I did, if it was something that was like major, like we're going to be without power for a month or two, well, at that point, I've got lots of, where my well comes out, where my well is now, it's on top of this ridge here, but you go to the bottom of that ridge, and that's where the swamp is, and the spring is coming out there. So I could walk down there and get the water, and even in the middle of winter, it's running. The water's running, and it runs like a tiny little creek, goes underneath the road to the other side of my neighbor's property. So it's on a big, I'm on a big spring here. And I can go down and get water, because that's what we used to do before we had any well here. And when we were kids, that was our job: fill up the buckets and bring them back to the camp, so that Mom could boil water for coffee, and we'd wash and cook with it. So, but I mean, if I get myself one of those Berkey water filters for inside the bus, which I'm going to do, then it doesn't matter. I mean, I can fucking go get a bucket and grab the water out of the low area here. It'll filter out the water and be perfectly drinkable. So that's the only thing I lack for it to be totally, like, I got heat and I got water. If I got those 2 things, I'm okay. It's the 2 main things. So that's why I say I keep water stashed. But if I had to go long term, then I need the Berkey. And that's because I'll filter the water that's here, plus I can go down to the spring. So it's, so I mean, that's the one thing about living out here, rather than being in the city. If everything went for a shit, you got limited time in the city. But out here, we're used to living like this. So going through things like this. Like I was saying on the long form videos, my mom and dad in 98, 99, my dad with cancer in his stomach didn't know it. He died in August of 99. They were out here 10 days without power and didn't even blink an eye or phase them. I couldn't get out to them because the roads were all impassable. But I mean, the house was warm, the wood stove was going. My mom did all the cooking and boiling the water for coffee and all that on the Vermont wood stove. My dad had all his beer already anyway, so all he did was just stick the beer in the snow. When they wanted water, they used the snow, and then because they'd forgotten about the 40 gallons in the hot water tank, and my dad suddenly went, "Hey, we've got 40 gallons of water. We can heat up water and give ourselves a sponge bath." So that was real happy for them after a couple of days. But I mean, Now my mom recently, although at this point at her age and for the length of time she's going to end up staying there, my mom has been, thinking about a generator. They're expensive. And I mean, to put one here for her, she wouldn't even need a huge one for what she runs there. But, she's 82, and I mean, I haven't said anything to her. I mean, she's going to do it. But, I mean, at this age, how much longer are you going to be here, Mom? And like, all we're going to end up doing is sell it. And the Generac, for the money you'll spend on the Generac, it won't bring up the appreciable price of the property, I wouldn't think, anyways. So what I've done here brought the pace of this property up, because when I go to sell, it's 100 acres with deer, great hunting, fishing lakes all around here. A small village 10 minutes away, a larger town, Perth 30 minutes away. And then of course we got the electric water hunt camp here, and then got the big main house, big garage and all that. So anyway, I know what they're leaving. Okay, but turn the switch on, like just go like that. Switch. Come on guys, don't leave me, please. What's going on? These are going to be a lot of shorts, eh? What I'll do is I'll put this as a long form video. I'll split it into two, but then I'll pick out some 1 minutes for the shorts. I mean, it'd be stupid to do 50 minutes worth of shorts. I'll do it in a way too, is I'll do the conversation so it breaks it up, and you'd be like, wow, fuck, I missed that. Well, go watch the long form video then. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe, so I, keep this little game show going here. Okay, I'm starting to see a whole lot less lights out there. Did you have to go further down, maybe? Is there another fucking... Not my mom's pole. Could have taken... No, see, my mom's on our private land, and the bell line was still working, so if that had come down, that bell line would have come down, and she wouldn't have had a landline, but her landline was still working. My mother has a phone there. It's called a Harmony. I don't know how many people, I don't know if they sold them in the States. They're made, I think, by Nortel, but a really solid, great little phone. It was one of the first newer style push button phones, and we had that like in 1980. But I mean, she's still using that same phone. I mean, you could hit somebody over the head and break their skull. I mean, that's how tough that little phone is. But I mean, when she talks on it, it's loud and clear. I can hear her so perfect. I mean, it's better technology then than the stuff is now. But, she's got the ones that she carries around with her, but when the power goes out, the Harmony next to her bed, she's up in her bedroom, and at 71 degrees when I last checked up there with her, she did decide not to start the wood stove because it was warm enough, and she's got lots of blankets, and she said, well, the power's going to be out all night, I'll get up during the night or whatever, and I'll start the wood stove or in the morning kind of thing, if I need to, but I don't think she's going to need to. My oven stove is starting to cook there. I might have to get that butterfly damper closing down a little bit more, I think. Okay, so now they moved again. Now there's no lights. See? Oh, there's still lights outside. Here. Okay, guys, just like a light switch. Power to the people. Nope. Okay, now that truck's leaving. Power to the people. Don't leave. I want my power. That sounds like a idiot. I need my power. I can't play my PlayStation. I can't be woke online and harass people. I can't suck Trudeau's dick. Or Biden's. Or Trump's. Am I really that nasty towards city people? They don't leave a good impression when they come out here. It's the cottagers are the worst. It's like they're here like 3 months of the year, but they act like they own everything out here, and I mean they just treat it like it's their own garbage dump. It's just incredible the things I see, and it wasn't always like that. It's the newer generation, because the cottages are now passing down to the younger ones, and they're just stupid. I mean, just the things you see. It's like I say, it's another reason why I won't be keeping the property here. I'm done. And I'm going to go live in that bus. And anywhere there's stupid people, me and the bus will go elsewhere. So, stupid people, turn the other way. And 3 cats will be looking at me going, can we stop somewhere now? Can you turn the wood stove on? I really thought when they left it, they would just go power to the people. I haven't got another text saying that there's an update. I mean, it's past 9 o'clock. They said 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. But did I say that on the shorts already? Where the city it's down in Toronto that are doing the pencil pushing, I get a text from them as soon as I reported the power outage. I get a text like 5 minutes later saying, oh, well, you'll have power back by 9 o'clock. Well, the guys hadn't even shown up here yet to look at the damage or anything. They didn't show up for another hour, which is normal. I mean, you get the call, you got to get these guys wherever they are. Maybe they're on another job. There'd be 1,000 reasons. But anyways, it's like, why wouldn't you wait until the guys arrive here, get their eyes on what they need to do, and then they'll tell you, well, I think it's going to take 3 hours, not 2. So then they send you a text saying, okay, we're going to approximate 10 o'clock rather than 9 because the guy said this. But no, some pencil pusher just pushes a button without even thinking, you know. And they don't. There's just no mind to put together there. I mean, and you talk to these people and you're like, are you really this stupid? Like, are you even human? Did you finish high school? Like, what's up with you, man? Like, wow. I mean, I didn't finish high school and I'm smarter than most of them. And that's scary thinking about that. So, because I'm no fucking genius. I said fucking genius, didn't I? So, pretty sure that's not going to be a short for the Magic Bus. My new channel there, guys. The Lad's Magic Bus Adventures, PG. No swearing, no weed, no controversial statements, you know, all the stuff I do with Lad from the Woods. I decided to have that second channel, but the idea too was just to focus it on the bus and the camping and that sort of stuff. So I'll clean it up for that because I'm going to be in family campgrounds and, you know, I mean, it's not like I won't smoke a joint and stuff like that, but I'll put those videos on the Lad from the Woods and I'll keep the other stuff PG. So, you know, I want to see too how much the algorithms are affecting, like, you know, me with the swearing and the weed smoking and all the rest of it on this channel, and then me pretending to be something I'm not on the Magic PG. I shouldn't say pretending I'm not. I'm just PG and get over there. I'm still me. But I mean, I'll be interested to see what their algorithms do with that. So, because I'm going to film it, I'm filming exactly the same way, and there's no fancy editing, no Scorsese, none of this other stuff that a lot of these guys do out there. More power to them if you want to, you know. But me, I like the idea that I'm sharing my life with you folks, but it's what you see is what you get. There's no fancy editing, no little musical interludes where you're like, you know, do and fancy editing and people flying around, little birdies and all. No, it's like you walk up my laneway, you knock on my door and say, hey, g'day, I saw you over in Perth and I just thought I'd come over and say hello. I thought I'd bring some weed and smoke a joint with you. Okay, that is, to me, that's reality. That's what YouTube, for me, is reality. So it's like, that's what I'm showing here. As if you were coming here, sitting down, having a coffee or a drink or a joint or whatever. You know, some shrooms. That's my channel. So that's my style, and even the Magic Bus thing is going to be the exact same thing. I'm not getting into all this other stuff. And like I say, more power to these people. It's just, for me, that's not reality. That's just a little fantasy they're creating. You know, these bus people in the middle of the desert. They don't show you all the shitty things out there in the desert. 800 degrees and dust up your ass, and so they fancy it all up and everything and make it look so nice and it's on YouTube, but that's not reality of what's really going on there. And like I said, to each his own, right? But not me. What you see is what you get, raw and unedited. Just live with it. If you don't like it, see ya. Go away, go elsewhere. You know, overly sensitive people, overly woke people, like I say in the description, just be elsewhere, man. You're not welcome here. You're just not. So if you want to be adult and grow up and hang out with real adults, and maybe sometimes things are said that aren't quite copacetic. I mean, I don't allow racism or any of that nonsense because I don't believe in any of that. I'm just saying, you know, you're going to hear the word fuck. You know, you might hear it a lot. And if you get all excited about that, like one girl did already, it's like, too much cussing. Well, bye. You think and she told me too much cussing, and I'm like, why would you even bother? Do you think for one